All right, welcome everyone. My name is Ruben Layel, aka Ruben Got Soul. I'm a singer-songwriter right here from Dallas, Texas, who blends old school jazz, R&B, and contemporary pop influences. I also serve as the second vice president on the board for 24 Hour Dallas. Here our motto is "The nighttime is for everyone." And this is the first in a virtual series that we're launching throughout the year on Dallas Nightlife. The first perspective we want to hear is recording.
Oh, okay. Me and him were looking at.
You gotta love the DJs. They're gonna make sure we get the conversation heard.
Every time I see like a mix board, I'm like, what's happening over there? Okay.
That's exactly what we need you to do because your perspective matters here in the nighttime economy because y'all are pretty much keeping the vibes, the rhythm, the tempo to what happens in the nightlife here in Dallas. So I'm excited to be joined by some amazing local DJs that are well respected. We got DJ Bnder, DJ Sneak, Leo J, and Christy Ray. Y'all show them some love real quick. That's what's up. So how y'all doing tonight? Y'all all right?
Yes.
Yeah, doing great.
Cool. We're excited to have this conversation with you all. And it's a safe space. I'm probably going to say that a million times tonight because we really want to dig in deep to what's happening in Dallas, what we're doing good, and what we can work on. So let's start with the speed round. Get this thing warmed up. Give Dallas Nightlife a grade. Is it an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F?
I'm going to give it a C.
Okay, C. All right.
Yeah, I would probably give it a C plus.
Okay.
Maybe a B minus.
All right,
if I'm being generous.
Oh, y'all are a tough crowd. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say a B minus because we try.
Okay.
You got to give something for effort.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, I like the B minus. I think there's something to be said about because there is effort. There's no doubt. There is effort.
Okay, that's good. Okay. No yellow ribbons, though. We want to get an A. Tell me, just from your own experiences, what is your type of music that you love to play? What's that genre? What type of music?
For me, it really is just about just like anything, man. Music's emotion.
Yeah.
It really just depends on what kind of vibe I want to be in. Like when I'm playing, if I'm playing somewhere and I get to choose what type of music I get to play, I'm a really big fan of R&B and nice. Like kind of K-Tronada, edits, beats, instrumental stuff that I could scratch to and just chill out. Like that's what I really, really love.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Chrissy?
I would say the music that I like to play most is just upbeat and fun. I like to play pop music, like silly pop. I like to play throwbacks, maybe things that you haven't heard in a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, edits, like SoundCloud edits. Just anything that's fun, gets you moving. Anything that's, wow, oh my God, I haven't heard this in forever. That's what I enjoy.
Love that.
Yeah, for me personally, it really depends on the time of the day. I feel like if it's earlier in the day, I usually am thinking quite a bit. I like a lot of progressive house, anything that's like maybe Afro beats, stuff like that. As it gets later in the day, I do a little bit more like minimal deep tech or even techno, depending on the early morning hours, right? For some of those after parties. But yeah, that's usually what I gravitate towards.
Sweet.
I would say definitely upbeat, but hip hop, R&B, dance hall. I like Afro house.
Okay.
I'm getting into that a lot.
Like that, for sure. I can't do any of the dance moves, but I like it.
Yeah.
I ain't got it yet.
Afro house is booming right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what y'all like to play. What do you like to listen to? Let's go the other way.
Probably this. I
The
love
same.
twerk music.
Okay. Twerk. Ain't mad at that.
Yeah, for me personally, I do progressive house. It just heals my soul. I feel like very connected to who I am, connected to my family and my closest friends. Yeah.
This is a real honest answer. Silence.
Hey, it is music.
NPR, talk radio. I'm a full-time DJ. I listen to music all the time, and I have a 5-year-old. So sometimes when I'm not playing, I really do just like to listen to nothing. And that's the real answer.
It's up there. It's on the board.
Recently, a couple years ago, I took a gig doing a Latin brunch, but it's more, I could play a lot of Latin funk and disco, and like Afro-Cuban music. And I really fell in love with Latin psychedelic rock. Oh, man, that's
nice.
It's super fiery, and that's what I've been loving.
Where you go for that?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So where is that origin?
There's different labels. Vampi Soul, they're out of Spain. That's the Matasuna record label. There's different labels. Even the stuff Mr. Bongo does. He does a lot of reissues of Brazilian and Portuguese kind of funk.
Okay.
And Yeah, that kind of, oh, it's so
Sounds
good.
fun.
It's so good. Yeah, and they do a lot of, I went on a big journey to find as many Spanish cover songs as
Okay.
possible.
Nice.
You know, and yeah, like Stevie Wonder is a fool. I don't know if he has a whole full Spanish album that he
That makes
recorded
sense, though.
himself.
Stevie
That
Wonder?
makes all
Yes,
the
it's
sense
so
in the world.
good. It's everything. All of it is, yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been loving to listen to lately.
Beautiful. I like it. Last speed round question. Top venues for DJs? One. I don't want you to dig yourself in a hole here.
As of late, I've really enjoyed playing at Lady Love
you took my
because
answer.
the vinyl sound system that they have, the sound system that they have is fantastic. Generally, when you go somewhere and you play a record, you can hear like the little pops or the nicks or whatever here and there. But their sound system is super clean and it's just an audio file. And yeah, I like
Okay.
playing there right now. Yeah.
What you got?
You took my answer. Lady Love. Yeah, everything that he said. Lady Love was built for DJs. Truly, they take so much pride. You can tell, like just in the booth and the sound. They don't let anybody up there except the DJ, which I love, because everybody's always trying to get lit
How do I get
behind.
my request in? Y'all got to text
You don't.
I
You don't.
Oh,
You just
okay.
don't. Yeah. People hate hearing that. But yeah, Lady Love for sure.
Got it.
Yeah, for me, I'm newer to the scene, so the venues that I'd say I kind of gravitates towards the most are Greenlight Social, or now that it's summer, the pool series at the Village. They just upgraded all their sound, which is pretty amazing, because last year the sound was probably the biggest critique I had, but their sound this time it's pretty clean. Yeah,
This was hard.
yeah. They built their own little stage and whatnot, so pretty cool.
So I would say, and not that it's my favorite, but for DJs, Ruins, because they can be creative as they want to, and they let you curate your own event most of the time. So, like, I've seen all different types of events in there,
Okay.
but I wish it was bigger, a lot bigger.
Okay. Love that. We'll get into some locations a little bit later, but y'all are not from Dallas. So
No.
what cities are we representing?
Los Angeles.
Okay, LA.
Got El Chuco, Texas, El Paso.
Suffolk, Virginia.
Okay.
Corpus Christi, Texas.
Corpus Christi. And what would you say is one of the biggest differences between where you're from or some other cities in America that maybe you've played in than the Dallas nightlife scene, DJ scene? What, do we have a hand up? Do we have a hand down? Is there something we need to work on?
From where I'm from, a hand up, for sure.
For sure, same here.
Okay.
Same here.
How so?
El Paso has obviously it's a majority Latino, right? So you have a lot of cumbia, norteñas. That's heavy down there, right? So my brother's been a DJ down there for probably 25, 30 years at this point, and he's a master at what he does, but strictly norteñas, cumbias, reggaeton, anything that's Latin-based like that. Whereas here you have a melting pot of different genres that people are into just because of the cultural variety that there is, right?
Love that. Come on, LA.
Ooh, I'm like, how can I explain this? I guess in LA, it feels like you're always going to be like a small fish in a really big pond. Whereas Dallas feels like there's a lane for everybody. Like we're just a bunch of fish in this maybe medium-sized pond, and we're swimming with each other sometimes. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it just feels like in Dallas, there's just something for everyone. Yeah. And everyone is really supportive of something that somebody else is doing. And in LA, it's just like you're on your own as soon as you get there. Yeah.
I don't have anything to compare it with Corpus Christi. I've lived here a majority of my life, way more than I lived down there. But traveling, yeah, I think Dallas still has something really special in terms of the wide range of DJs and the number of accepting places of different things you can do.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Because if you're looking for a Bollywood night or group in the city, you can find that. You can find different ecosystems and cultures, that are really thriving. And that's what I really like about Dallas. Like, all that stuff is very well represented.
Beautiful. Yeah, we like to be the melting pot of a lot right about now. Shout out to the Dallas Mavericks. We hope we bring this thing home. You talked about earlier, DJ Sneak, about curating different experiences. So what have you found to be one of your niches? Did I say that right? Niches?
It's a funny word.
It's a hard word.
Yeah. Developing, some of the experiences you provide here in Dallas.
Well, I just started curating like different things. I've only been DJing for 4 years, almost 5. I've curated skate parties. I helped these Africans create like a Afro house and ampiano party, and then I just let them run with that. But I haven't did as much as I want to yet.
Okay, but still got some things cooking for sure.
Yes.
Okay, and you did some training as well. You went to school to learn to be a DJ in
Yes.
this 4 years. So how did?
I started my dad's a DJ.
Okay, nice.
So it was like in my blood. I started DJing and then I went to school because I'm like, honestly, do I really know what I'm doing? I'm just turning some of these knobs. I don't even know. I know what they are, but I don't really know how to use them. So I just went to touch up on whatever I had. So when I went to school, they were like, why are you here? And I was like, cause I don't even know what this is for real. So I went to Keep Spinning
Okay.
Me too.
with J Clip.
J Clip. Okay, shout out to Dallas DJs. Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet, sweet. And you enjoyed that experience. You would definitely recommend that, Christy?
Yeah. J Clip is like one of my mentors. He also works with my mom very closely.
Yeah.
It's much like Sneak, I had been DJing, but my mom thought it would be good to be under J Clip's tutelage to
Yeah.
just like you really know
Yeah.
what I was doing. Sometimes just the knowledge itself is the most important part.
Right.
And he does it all. Like one of our first lessons was just breaking down and setting up and like the names of the cables and like doing all that. So, like before I even actually played any music, it was making sure you know exactly how to set things up and where things go. And that is just so important to know. I think that's something that a lot of DJs don't, some maybe newer DJs don't understand. Being able to run your own sound and being able to be your own tech in a lot of ways.
Christy's first set.
Oh my
All right, listen. Christy's first set. I say this from a place of mad respect because her first public set was an all vinyl set for, at her, I think your mom's birthday, or her 45th birthday party. So there's a huge headliner by the name of DJ Scratch that was in town.
Yeah.
And from EPMD. And so Christy, I think, opened up the night and did a 45 set. All right. So a 12-inch record vinyl is tough as it is, especially somebody learning out. But somebody playing their very first set on a 45 night, like that, honestly, I don't know if I ever told you that.
Finger snaps
But
right
she earned I was like, that is some level. Yeah, I don't know if I ever could. That meant.
It was.
I was about to say, how
But here's the
nervous?
thing, though.
How nervous were you?
I was so nervous.
You had the confidence to get up there, though, and you
yeah.
did it. I couldn't really
It's
tell.
half faking it. That's what you gotta do. It's like half faking it. You gotta fake it till you make it. I'm like a big proponent of that. No, I was so nervous. And Scratch did not help at all. He was very much like, I'm gonna be watching you. I'm like, oh man. But yeah, it was for my mom's birthday and I just wanted to make her happy. Make her proud. So
Yeah, and how do you feel like you're operating that lane? You've really found your own lane to do, and most times people who are the children of these iconic artists in the industry that get swooped up in the fame of their parents.
Right.
We know Christy. If you say Christy
yeah.
Ray, we know who you're talking about.
yeah. I don't have, this kind of leads into that nepotism
Yeah.
situation. I have no issue with claiming that I'm a nepotism baby because how I see it is if you have the talent to back it up, then that phrase shouldn't really bother you. And so, being connected to my mom, who was the first female DJ, that only helps me. And so I feel to deny that would be, I don't know, just a disservice to myself, a disservice to her legacy.
Yeah.
And so I have no issue with saying that. I never say it to
you're not a name
people
dropper,
at all. If they find out and they ask, I will always be honest. So that's always been just something that I do. But yeah, I don't deny that. And I don't know, I'm pretty good. Me and my mom are different DJs. We are different generations. Yeah. We do different things. So I would never compare myself to her anyway. So yeah, it's never truly been an issue.
Okay, sweet. So given that I keep hearing bloodline, I hear family. So what's the one advice? I'm going to come back around, but what's the one advice from mom that you feel like has paid off, kind of use as a rudiment?
I think she's given me a lot of lessons, I have to say. But the one lesson that she's definitely drilled into my head, she's a really incredible businesswoman. I don't think a lot of people know that about her. She's just very much into her that aspect. Okay. And she is very on me about making sure I'm getting what I'm worth and making sure I'm reading my contracts and doing all these things that are only going to help me in the long run. And sometimes it feels a little much, but it's just tough love. And she just wants me to be, just on top of it. Because as a woman in this industry, it's really easy to get taken advantage of. And I think she's experienced that a lot in her 30 plus years, and she just doesn't want that for her daughter, which I completely understand. So that's just something, just really be on your business game.
Cool. Yeah. What about you? You talked about your dad being a DJ. So.
I was going to say the same thing. Being your own boss, make sure you know about all the money side. But he's really heavy on like just being your own person, being your own boss. You need people working for you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you should be making 6 figures as your own boss.
Yep.
Cool. DJ Bnder, what about you? Growing up, what were some of those things that you learned?
Yeah, so my family, we have quite a bit of musicians. My music career, or if I can name it that way, it was as a guitarist. So I've always played guitar, usually like romantic Mexican music at clubs in El Paso, you know. Okay. I learned that was the way to go because I started metal, and that usually didn't attract girls. So my first Latin gig, that's when I had like girls come after or try to talk to me, and I was like, dude, I've been missing out the whole time, you know. But my dad's a really good singer and plays quite a few instruments, and my sister sings, my brother DJs, and I think the biggest takeaway that my dad always taught me, and my brothers run with the same kind of concept, is to trust myself and my instinct internally, understanding that there's a gift within you that is deserving for the world to see. And you're just trying to essentially extend yourself through the music that you're playing and performing, right? So how do you want to be perceived by those people? And you get the privilege of having people listen to you when you're up there. So just honoring that the best way you can.
Love that. And Leo, you represent the Latino community as well. You have this signature relationship with vinyls. You talked about it earlier. So what is that like for you? How do you represent that space?
Really, it's just making it a blend of like nostalgia and like innovation, like to a certain extent, like riding that where people can see the art form, because I really truly believe, you know, that there's skill sets that you can get when you learn to play vinyl and putting needle on record, that once you get the technology like Serato or whatever program you want to use, that it only elevates your craft. I equate it to photographer learning photography on a film camera, because there's only so many takes you can take on that roll. So you have to make sure that every time you line yourself up, you know, the composition, right, the lighting, because you only have that, you know,
a limited amount of
opportunities, right? Mm-hmm. So once you hone in on your skill sets to dial it in, it's the same thing when you learn with vinyl, so that when you go into the digital world, you're able to do way more because you understand things at the core. So for me, keep continuing to put vinyl culture and DJing on vinyl in public spaces is really important, right, to keep that alive.
I think that's awesome. And this has been a great conversation. And I hope that people have gleaned just some of your life lessons. They've also been able to look at some of your business tips and strategies for just how to be in this ecosystem. And that's what we talked about in our previous series as well. Just what's unique to you all as DJs is sometimes what we as the listener or the consumer or the customer, we don't think about these things. We just show up and try to follow the DJ. Do you feel the relationship from a business standpoint? We have a lot of promoters here. Is it venue heavy? What is the best business ecosystem for DJs to truly thrive in Dallas nightlife? Are we doing it right? What could we do better?
I think that you gain a lot of knowledge by doing. Right, like there's stuff that we all can give kind of semi blueprints of, you know, what to do, what to say, you know, going out. But you learn so much more by doing and being a part of, you know, this culture, by actually going out and meeting other DJs, you know, networking and being a part of more than just what you want to accomplish. Because at the end of the day, it does take a network and an ecosystem of relationships to thrive. But you have to garnish them. You have to, you know, make sure that they're right and that they lined up, and that you're holding yourself accountable for how you present yourself as a person and business wise, because you're going to come in there and perform. People are going to be expecting you to be a professional. And I think the serious DJs that want to do this for more than just the glory, they need to understand that from an early stage. Take this thing seriously. Understand all the different aspects that go into a venue or a private space or whatever, but you got to do it and you got to go through it. And if you need to ask somebody.
Love that. Anybody?
I don't know. I think you touched on all of it. The thing that stood out the most to me is just building relationship. Sometimes, we spoke about this a little bit before we started recording, but just building relationship, I've noticed in Dallas, is really important with the venues and the bars and just kind of outside of just playing music. Sometimes just knowing the names of the people that are working, the bartenders, knowing the names of the security guard at the door, knowing the manager, asking questions, and just being pleasant overall, it goes a long way. And Dallas is very different to me than other cities in that it is so connected that like you could play somewhere and then maybe, you know, that bartender leaves and goes to another bar and talks about the night that Christy Ray played, when that's, oh, it was the best night ever. We really need to get her in here. And honestly, that is how I get maybe 95% of my gigs, is that somebody heard about me from another person. And a lot of the times, this is me being humble here, and I'm just kidding. A lot of the times it starts with, she was just like, cool. Like, it's weird. Sometimes people come in with an ego, and they come in, which is, I think, a healthy amount of ego is good. But just coming in with humanity first, and then also rocking the party, like you really can't go wrong. And I think that kind of lends to some longevity, especially in Dallas, if you want to be a full-time DJ for a long time.
I love that. So I got a different question for you. One of our goals here in 24-Hour Dallas is to make sure that the narrative of what happens at night is a positive one. And here in Dallas, we don't always get the best news lines between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. So what is your observance of what's happening between 10 and normally, 2 a.m. or 1:30, 1:45? What is our audience like? Are we rambunctious? Are we destructive?
Yes.
Or are we just
I feel like
to have
it
a
depends
good time?
on where you are.
Okay, talk
I
to
will
me
say,
about that.
Yes.
before, I didn't mean to cut you off. I will say, Dallas, I will say, we love to have a good time. I feel like we go out with the right intentions. Like, we want to just have fun. And then somewhere
like
in
that.
between there,
to that.
something happens.
Something happens.
But I feel like because that's the energy, I get that. It's very earnest. It's like we want to just have fun.
I'm about to say, within that, you meet a lot of nice people. So it's, all right, we're going to have fun, and we're not going to drink that much. But then you meet some new friends or something. I'm like, what y'all drinking? Oh, let me buy that.
Okay.
So you would get a lot of free drinks randomly.
Okay, cool. So Lyft is a good partner to
Lyft,
have
yes.
on deck. Got it.
Yes.
Love that. Would you say you give certain areas in the city a better rating than others? Is there an area you consider to be more prime real estate for nighttime?
In what sense? Like the safety sense or just in general?
Safety, to have fun, because some areas don't always get the same.
I think it depends on on what you want. I will say in Dallas, like there is something for everyone.
Facts.
So like you could go to Bishop Arts and get your dinner on and like a nice little lounge, but you can also go to 303 and get lit. You could go to Deep Ellum and I just feel like it depends on what you want. But as far as safety goes, I just think every place can be unsafe. That's why it's important when you're going out in nightlife at night to be alert. My mom says 10 toes down and just take care of yourself and take care of others. I think that's important too. It's a community, and I've seen we work best when we are looking out for each other.
Yeah, I would say pretty much the same. I don't have family here in Dallas except for my 2 daughters. So for me, you know, depending on my friends, and they depend on me for a lot of that as well, you know. Even if we party together, they usually do have that understanding that, you know, I'm usually the dad of the group. For me, that just comes naturally with my personality and who I am. And I'm also come from a very big hosting family. We always host guests at our house. We always had music there and stuff like that. So I've always had this perspective of being a dominant servant to a certain degree, where that's how my dad taught me to be. But yeah, just we're all adults here. When you go out, you want to make sure that you got your bases covered before you extend too much. And yeah, don't drink and drive, obviously. Yeah, I tried living in the suburbs, did it for about 6 months, and then moved back to the city because those Lyft drives get really expensive if you're coming down here quite a few times a week.
Love that. I live downtown, so I got the
Same, Ross.
Last question before we get out of here. This has been a great conversation. How can us as audience members, customers, patrons who are either going to hear live music or hear a DJ, like how can we support you all? What's that piece that we need to do? What's that responsibility that we need to take on to make sure that the narrative that we're creating is one that remains vibrant and fun and safe? So those, as people are moving to Dallas, people who are even from Dallas, when they want to go out and have a good time, there's no inhibition. They're able to just do it freely and enjoy Dallas.
I would say just keep showing up. If you have a favorite DJ, follow the DJ.
Yes.
Follow them like physically, not physically, but follow them to different where they're going to DJ. Follow them on social media, post about them. If you like them, tell people about them. Yeah, just continue to follow your favorite DJ, because what's going to happen is they're going to be playing with other DJs. You might find that you like this other DJ, and it just works that way, at least in the Dallas scene. Noticed.
Is it okay to have more than one favorite DJ?
That's what I was going to say.
It is.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yes, of course.
A lot of people put themselves in a box and they're like, oh, this is my favorite DJ and I'm only going to go where they are. But I'm like, if you don't go anywhere else, you might not find your other favorite DJ.
Right.
So I'm
AKA
like,
me. Right?
Yeah, this city is filled with amazing DJs that can do lanes, call them what you want, but everybody has these skill sets that are so well done. And, you know, this can all, you know, coexist. And I think what Christy said is a huge thing I'm actually going to use moving forward, man. Yes, support the DJs, share that stuff that doesn't cost anything. And I would say one other thing is learning fan etiquette or whatever to a certain extent.
Never heard that before. Explain to us what fan etiquette for.
You know, there's a song, you got to trust the DJ, right?
Trust the DJ.
Trust the DJ.
No,
and,
play my song.
And
Play Bad Bunny.
if you do want to make a request, there is a way to go about it.
Okay.
And I think that everybody should understand that and know that there is a way to go about it. There are certain kind of social cues that, unfortunately, as a fan, they can't pick up on when another. If a DJ is locked in looking down, they're probably matching beats or listening or doing something.
Yeah.
So you got to look for cues where, you know, they're looking around in the crowd, and if you can make an eye contact, just, you know, be like, hey, I'm about to approach you and whatever, you know.
Okay.
Come up
Can we
and
still slip it on like a napkin? Or, no? No, okay.
Hard no.
That's what I was thinking, because if you're not going to look at me, I'm going to be like, hey, let me slide this to you. It's our anniversary.
don't give her, like I said, there's a learning process
also
because you
tip
got to
the
learn.
DJ.
Tip the DJ.
And you know what? A compliment goes a long way.
Sure does.
Okay.
Aside from just a tip, but just a, yo, you're killing it. Like,
Yeah.
yo, you have no idea how much it's like,
Yes.
word.
Okay.
I would agree with 100% with that. I think making it personal, a personal compliment goes a long way, specifically what you liked about the set. And that's pretty awesome. Sometimes the biggest compliment to me is like, I'll have some other of my DJ friends and they'll show me that they've been Shazamming my music or whatever I'm playing. And I'm like, yeah, that's always a kind of like a small flex, right?
I do that too. I try not to tell anybody.
Same.
Look, I'm going to go up to a laptop and be like, what's
Your real friend will just send you a crate. Like, we'll just we'll Dropbox something to you. Yeah. Those are the real friends, though.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Most of the venues that I've played at, no laptops. It's USB only. They're strict on that.
Yeah.
So that's always, if they ask for a song, the likelihood that I'll have it on that USB is probably not highly likely, because I try to keep the music on the USB kind of minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so wrapping up here, gotta ask one more question that came to my mind, because y'all talked about just supporting DJs and following the DJs. Who are the DJs we should be following in Dallas?
all of us at this table, obviously.
For sure. We're gonna talk about these social media handles in a minute.
DJ Does It All.
I like DJ Does It All.
Okay, nice.
She Real, DJ Wire, Double J. Look, I can keep going on. Spadis.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's a lot.
There's so many DJs.
I
I
have to
could
run
keep-
some credits after this. Okay, y'all check the comments. All right, anybody else? Who else? Who we like to listen
Chrissy Ella. I like Chrissy Ella. I saw her last night. Shout out to her. DJ Anaya. Who else? Gina G. I love Gina G.
to? Okay.
Is that a house DJ?
Yeah,
Okay.
she is. She's incredible. Shout out to Gina G. I'm trying to think of who else. There's so many DJs in my mind. I feel like I can't get them all out. There's so many. All my friends. Y'all know who you are.
Yeah, for me, I really enjoy every time I go to one of their events. I'm always mind blown by just the quality, the work ethic that they have. Brandon Epica from Debbie Does Disco. Man, this guy is just some of the stuff I hear him play. I get goosebumps just like being on the dance floor with my friends and whatnot. But love those guys and what they do locally. Always, if there's an event that I could go to, I'm free, I'll be there.
Follow
one-
the female DJs.
Follow the female DJs. I have one more DJ friend.
Cassie, I think you guys
Follow
had
female
Cassie
DJs.
out here recently.
Yeah, Cassie. Yeah.
Cassie's a good friend of mine. She's awesome at what she does. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say my man Luke Sardello for some house music. I would also say my man DJ No, part of the Repercussions crew for drum and bass. I say my man DJ Tums. He's the reigning regional DMC champion here from Dallas. Yeah, there's just so many really dope. All my Fresh 45 DJs. Nice. We all have such an amazing network of friends and DJs that are just.
I do have a tip for the DJs though.
Okay.
Post your content. Because we're telling people to follow you, and they're gonna go to your page and be like, they have 25 posts.
Yeah. Right.
I know we know they're dope in person, but DJs, post your content, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to shop before we buy. Is that how that goes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Window shop before we buy, at least.
Absolutely.
And this has been a great conversation. Thank you all for being with us and having this dynamic conversation on just what DJs are experiencing, what your perspective is of the nighttime economy. And for those who are listening, make sure you visit 24hourdallas.org and consider becoming a member of our organization. It's just $25 for individuals and $100 for business owners and operators. You can follow us on social media at 24-Hour Dallas to stay up to date on future events and trainings we will be hosting throughout the year. Thank you again to our amazing panelists. I need these social media handles. DJ Sneak, what you got?
I'm Leak the Sneak. It's a little slang. Okay. So LEKDASNEAK, like Keek the Sneak, Leak the Sneak.
And where are you playing? Where do you play normally?
I'm all around. I'm in Deep Ellum sometimes. Tonight I'll be at Felix Cupola, so I'm going there literally after this. Mr. X on Thursday sometimes. But I do a lot of one-off party. I'm really into the parties right now.
Okay.
Like
nice.
The traveling parties, the one-off party. Let me do a guest set right quick and then go about my day.
Wow. Okay, got it. All right. What about you?
Yeah, my Instagram handle is DJ Bnder. It's spelled BNDER, so just without the first E there. And usually around the Deep Ellum area, I got the name from the after party scenes. A lot of the after parties, I don't mind doing it. I like a night owl. So,
are you at the Afties?
I do prefer. I know those guys too. Yeah, some of the Afties. Yeah. I played at Jack's house a few times, and
Jack's house is wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there when they started, man. They had a great venue down in Oak Cliff. Yeah, awesome scene.
My @ on Instagram is @ Christy Ray, CHRISTYRAY. I play literally everywhere. You just got to catch me somewhere. I'm always posting a flyer. This weekend, I'm playing at a couple pools, weather permitting, hopefully. I'm at the Dive-In Dallas on Saturday, and I'm at Virgin Hotel pool on the rooftop this Sunday.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I'm a little bit all over the place as well. I do the Common Table Brunch in McKinney every Saturday and Sunday. I do Ruins in Deep Ellum actually 3 different nights. It's the second Thursday of every month is Battlegrounds. It's my dance battle night. And then the third Thursday is Fresh 45s, and then I'm there on the patio one Saturday a month. And doing an event at the AT&T Discovery District next weekend. And what do we got going on Saturday night? There's 2 things going on. Oh, Ruins on Saturday. Oh, no, I'm at Off the Record on Saturday. Yeah, it's just bouncing around. Same thing. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that, @_LeoJ_.
Awesome. Once again, this is Ruben Layel. This series has been brought to you by 24-Hour Dallas. Thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Stay safe. And remember, the nighttime is for everyone.